Hello, this is John Cullen. Welcome to another I Am John Cullen podcast. In this episode, we take a look at the footage from the Foundation Room filmed by Jason Hartman. One of our viewers suggested in the comments that there might be a drone taking off, like a DJI Phantom taking off from the crowd, from the venue during the attack, and asked, could this have been the perpetrators filming and streaming the attack back to some other location? So we're going to take a closer look at this footage and see if we can find that drone, see if we can figure out what that is. Is it a drone or is it something else? So let's take a closer look. The first thing I do is pull up the reference footage, the Jason Hartman footage from the Foundation Room that he filmed with Forbes Riley and the rest of the folks that were up there from Shark Tank and what have you. By synchronizing that footage to the Corey Langdon footage, we can get a perspective on what was happening. Corey witnesses certain gunshots that we do not hear from the Foundation Room, and I'm going to point that out because that's rather pivotal, and I'll explain why when we get to that sequence. So let's take a closer look at the Jason Hartman footage now.
Look, see all the books. Yeah, it does. It sounds like automatic gunfire. Look at the people that are still staying in the front row. They're like, "Shoot, if we get shot, we're staying here." Is there people laying? Now it sounds like it's coming from farther away.
All this gunfire is coming from room 135, 32, 135. And it's coming from one location, by the chair, by the window. The shooter's not moving. So if the shooter isn't moving, how do you hear gunfire and then not hear gunfire and then hear gunfire again if you're not moving and the shooter's not moving? That makes no sense. So the shots from 32-134 have already been accounted for. These shots must be coming from 32-135 according to the narrative. But we don't hear them from the Foundation Room.
Now it sounds like it's
well, that makes no sense.
farther away.
Why would we hear certain gunshots and not other gunshots from the Foundation Room? Alright, so now we're looking for a drone. The DJI Mavic or DJI Phantom is most likely what would be used. These are commercially available. This is the DJI Mavic. It's the newer version. It did come out before the concert, so these were readily available. And this is what we're going to be looking for in the Jason Hartman footage, one of these DJI Mavic drones. So let's look real closely in the first 30 seconds or so and see if we can find this thing. Did you see it? Let's look again. I'm going to zoom in and replay this segment. And right in front of this white area by the purple semicircle, you'll see something pass in front of the white bright area. There you go. And so the question is this a drone? Is somebody launching a drone to film what's happening in the venue, from the venue, and broadcasting this back to some other location? So I spent quite some time studying the footage to see, is there other sightings of this object? And the answer was yes, there are other sightings of this object. And because of these other sightings of the object, I can tell you unequivocally that this is not a drone. This is absolutely not a drone, and I can be 100% definitive about that. So it was a great find, and I don't want to make the guy who found it feel bad. This is one of those, if you see something, say something type of scenarios. But after careful consideration, I can tell you beyond the shadow of a doubt that what you're seeing here is not a drone. But what you're seeing is actually a speck of dirt on the lens of the camera, or camera phone, smartphone. And the reason I can tell you this unequivocally is the same spot shows up on the camera or in the footage at the exact same location, meaning I haven't moved my red circle. The red circle has stayed in the exact same location, and the little black dot or drone type object appears inside my red circle without me having to move the red circle. So that means relative to the footage, it's always in the same exact location. And that tells me it's not a flying object, it's a speck of dirt or similar on the lens of the camera. And you'll see in a moment it will appear in front of a bright background. And I circle it again so that you can see what's happening. Right there. So if you slow that footage down, you'll see the same speck. And the net of it is it's something on this guy's lens. So again, it's a good find, amazing. Sure as heck looked like a drone the first time I looked at the footage. And it caused me to, set aside some time, take a look at it. And sometimes things that we think we see are not what they are. And more so than ever, in this case, there's more illusions than we can count. So I thank the audience for pointing this out. And again, if you see something, say something. There's no shame in it. Not developing into something major, that's quite okay. So this turned out to just be a speck of dirt, but that's all right. Let's continue and forge ahead. I'm John Cullen. Thanks for joining.